Have you ever experienced overwhelm trying to set the perfect plan? Well, stay tuned and I'll show you how I have simplified my marketing plan into two simple problems that I'd like to solve for the month of May. And if you're interested, one of the tools that I'm going to be using every single day to help me hit my goals is my 5-minute daily planner. If you'd like your own copy, it's completely free. Just reach out and let me know and I'll shoot it through to you. Hello and welcome back to the From Zero to Marketing Hero podcast. My name's Paul Heron. I'm a life coach and entrepreneur who transitioned from the uncertainty of knowing I was meant for more, sitting in the corporate world far too long, through all the ups and downs, to now successfully running my own coaching business. This podcast is my latest attempt of ensuring that I keep stepping out of my own comfort zone. Over the last 5 years, while establishing my business, I've outsourced most of my marketing efforts, but now is the time for me to dive in and learn how it all works from the ground up. So over the next 12 months, I'm challenging myself to create, post, upload a podcast episode every single day to document my journey and to hopefully show you guys what it takes to build a successful business and how my coaching strategies apply in real life. Along the way, hopefully you'll hear all about the highs and the lows and everything in between. But for now, let's get started and jump into today's episode. So if you've been following along, you'll know that this week has been all about trying to get some clarity and certainty on what my marketing plan or my goals are going to be for the month of May. Now, this has been some problem to tackle for me. I have said a number of times that I want to just keep it simple. I mentioned that if last month was just simply about showing up, the plan for May really is a first attempt at putting a little bit more detailed plan together. It really is just a first grade attempt. And when I give myself the chance to zoom out, I can see that it does not have to be overly complicated. It really is still about just getting started. But my challenge is that I've found myself going around in circles. I've been spending a little bit of time reading up on marketing strategies, and I've been doing a training course on the basics of social media marketing. And there are so many ideas bouncing around in my head that this feeling of overwhelm is in some ways just restricting me and holding me back from actually making any decisions at all. And the reason thinking this way and allowing myself to jump down these rabbit holes and explore everything and anything that I come across is that it just creates more and more overwhelm. But this plan that I'm trying to create does not need to be too complicated. So what have I been able to do to combat this overthinking? And simply put, my answer is just to try and simplify things as much as I can. So what I've done is just to keep coming back to the question of what is the problem that I'd love to get closer to answering during the month of May? What's the solvable problem that I'm trying to work through? And by reframing things this way, I've been able to really narrow down on a couple of specific problems that make sense as an appropriate next step, and that hopefully I'll be able to use as a reference for my daily activities throughout the month. So for example, last month was all about just showing up. Before I started this journey, I had no idea what I was capable of. It was difficult to predict whether I had it in me to even show up every day and post a podcast episode on a daily basis. So my solvable problem before I even began was simply, do I have it in me to show up every day and complete this challenge? So when I first started, I had no idea to the answer of that question. At the end of the month, I had successfully shown up every single day and posted a podcast. So at the end of the month, I had a high level of certainty that I can see this through now for the next 12 months. So that problem I had at the very, very start has been solved. It's now something that I have certainty on, and now I'm at the start of month number 2 and I can start thinking about what my next solvable problems need to be. One of the key takeaways I took from last month was that just simply showing up isn't enough to have a steady flow of my perfect client come into my world. I need to start doing more. And I guess in some ways that's where my overwhelm is coming from. I want to be at the finish line. but I know that I need to take baby steps. I need to take manageable steps towards achieving my longer term goal. And there are two problems that are standing out for me that make sense to tackle. The first one is I always have been notoriously bad at showing up on social media. Even tackling this marketing challenge, I have been a bit slack over the last month in terms of promoting the podcast and just putting myself out there in general. So the first problem that I want to tackle is, do I have it in me to show up every single day and post every day for the month? Am I able to commit to this goal? And I think just having a very basic, simple goal like that is the perfect place to start for me, because that in itself, in some ways, feels very daunting. However, that in itself isn't quite enough, I don't think. It'd be great to show up and ensure that I post every day. But the second problem that I would love to be able to start finding the answers to is the performance or the engagement of each of these posts. Even just being able to measure, did I post every day? Developing a way, a system, a method of keeping track of the posts that I make, the platforms that I post these posts to, the engagement I get. I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but the conversations that get started and ultimately the sales that come from these conversations. Because ultimately that's what this is all about. Whether it be organic posts or paid advertising, either now or in the future, my ultimate goal is to convert these posts that I'm putting to social media into conversations and beyond. And there are so many variables between crafting and posting a post and closing a sale and having someone come into my business. And as a very first step, I just need a way to be able to measure the success of the activities that I do take on. So the problem that I really want to solve in the month of May is, how can I develop a system, whether it be a spreadsheet, some other form of program. Maybe there's analytics within the social media platforms themselves that I'm not aware of just yet. But how can I develop a reliable method that I trust to be able to record and measure what I've done and the success of the posts that I've made? And having these two problems or these two goals for me to work towards feels like the right mix of excitement and fear in some ways. It just feels like the perfect combination of a challenge for me to take on over the next month, which is fantastic because now I can stop overthinking everything else. I have these two goals as my target to aim everything that I do at over the next month. And I just feel motivated right now just to get started, which is awesome. So why does this solution work for me? I think the answer is twofold. As I said, it both challenges me to post every day to social media, which is something that has been a challenge for me in the past. And at the end of the month, I'm going to have a full month's worth of data for me to be able to start to see where some of the future work needs to be done. It's going to make it much easier for me, again, to be trying to work out what June and beyond's goals and targets need to be. It also works well in combination with my daily continuous improvement planning process that I apply. So I can wake up every day and identify the specific tasks that I need to make throughout the course of the day. I can reflect back at the end of the day and have a look at what worked, what didn't quite go to plan, what are the lessons I can take into the next day. And if I get this bit right, this is 31 opportunities throughout the month of May to improve and just see what happens. And this is why it feels so exciting. And I think it is this 5-minute daily planner that really is the thing that's going to accelerate this solution that I've come up to for the problem. So overall, I'm just really excited to tackle the month of May, and I can't wait to share my progress with you. So I might leave it there for today. Remember that this 5-minute daily planner is a tool that I have offered to give away for free. There's no catch. You just need to let me know and I can shoot it through. You can either do that through a messenger conversation. You can head over to my website, which is paulheronlifecoaching.com. There's a few different ways you can reach out to me on there. You can join the Facebook group, which is a great way and a great place just to start conversations, which hopefully in the future is going to encourage the sharing of best practice, which is something that I'm all about. And there's even links there to come on to the show as a guest, which is something I'm looking to do a lot more of in the coming weeks and months. So if you'd like to be a part of this experience, please let me know, and I'd love to start a conversation. But do reach out, just reach out and let me know any way that makes sense to you, and I will shoot through the 5-minute plan, and I'm sure it would provide a ton of value in terms of you being able to set up your day for success. So I hope you've got some value from this conversation today. I hope you have an amazing day, and until tomorrow, bye for now.